call the Miners' Memorial. So they've got mining equipment and whatnot around here. Some of the front end loaders that were actually that are remotely driven, so people don't get squashed when they blow rock up. We'll go and have a look at this Miners' Memorial and check that out. So this is overlooking Broken Hill. So that's that's the north side of Broken Hill. So this is meant to be where the main money is. Behind me is all this south Broken Hill. And those people generally were only labourers and things like that because they were imported labour. So they weren't allowed to have the good jobs in the mines. They had to have all the less interesting and harder working jobs, I suppose you'd call it. It's like a wall of death. These are all the people who died now, right down at the very start of the mine. So this is late 1800s, but one of the people here is only 14 years old, which is very sad. So the 14-year-old fell down an ore heap and died. So they'd literally come out of primary school and go straight to the mines and start working. We pulled over on the side of the road for some morning tea. It's absolutely beautiful and peaceful here. All you can hear is a few birds in the trees, and that's about it. No cars, very quiet, very pleasant. Oh, we've had our drive. Malcolm's just got into his swag for the first time. He helped me set it up, which was good. So I think we're in action now. We've just got to straighten out that back, but no, it'll be all good. No worries at all. There's Michael. Michael's an old hand at it, so he knows what he's doing. I'll just set mine up now. Malcolm's happy. Got my sous chefs working at it. Onions got the Michaels. Michael's got the onions. Malcolm's got the tomatoes because we can't take them over the border tomorrow. So we're cutting up all our veggies and then we're going to cook them all tonight and we'll keep them for other nights. Here we are coming into South Australia. We've been through the quarantine, so we're good to go. We had no fruit and veg. We were eating heaps of tomatoes and onions last night, so you can imagine what the smell was like. I wouldn't say our bodies have digested it, but we're all good to go. Let's get into South Australia. Good morning, everyone. This is our setup for our second night out. And yesterday I didn't take many shots because the wind was howling all day. We had horrific winds. And through probably half the night we had really strong winds as well. But it's eased off now. It's actually quite pleasant. It is cool, but it's actually quite pleasant out here. Really a breath of wind. So we're going to have a coffee and some breakfast and head up to William Creek. Got the two boys doing the dishes. Michael, I'm making sure he cleans everything. That's part of his capacity building. Yep. And Malcolm's drying them, but he doesn't dry them 100%, so I've got to give them back to him so he actually dries them. So when they go away, our cutlery is not all wet. If it gets wet, it gets all rusty and disgusting. So we're working on many capacity building things at the moment between these two boys. We're just heading into the Unforgettable track now. We've got the guys standing there. We thought we'd get a quick photo before we head any further. And away we go, let's go and do it. All along this area here, we've got these old huts. They used to build these and stay in them. And when the sheep farmers came up, they thought this was an absolute motto. They loved it up here because there was green grass everywhere, and then the dry hit. And a lot of the sheep died. The farmers moved back down towards Adelaide, and some died and some lived, but these are the huts they lived in. Malcolm's having a wander through, so is Michael. So I was just saying, as you warm your hands by the fire there. It's be quite cold in winter here, I imagine, and hot in summer because they get some real hot winter weather up here. So here we are. We're in Maree. This was the one of the ports, or one of the stops they did on the Afghan Cameliers as they went north. They went from Adelaide right up north. They did have the train line from Adelaide to Maree here, and then they took it by Camelier from here all the way to Darwin. So it was a long haul. It was months and months. So we've had our coffee and our morning tea, which is good. And then after that, Michael's showing us where we're going. Maree to William Creek tonight, which is only 230, 240 kilometres, something like that. And then we're going to keep moving up. Here we're going to go to Dalhousie Springs, get a nice warm thermal spring. Out there, we go to Fink, where's the Fink Desert races there, and then we go across to the Stewart Highway and down. A plaque to Sydney Kidman, who actually owned thousands of kilometres, and he stretched it from right up here in Queensland, and it stretched right through this area, right down into Adelaide. And he used to bring his cattle north and south, because then he could keep them fattened all year, and he'd get the best money for them when he sold them. This is Tom Cruise's truck. No, it's not the celebrity Tom Cruise. He wouldn't drive a truck like this, but it is our very own Australian Tom Cruise. He used to deliver the mail. He delivered it for many, many years. It was like 40 years, 50 years or something. He delivered the mail between here and Birdsville. He used to load the truck up with all the goods they needed, and drive it up to Birdsville, float it across rivers and everything. A very tough guy, very long and arduous task. But he did it day in, day out. Car here, it says it's the lizard's revenge, so you look at it with a bit of artistic flair. I suppose it can look like a lizard. And then you got all this stuff here. Shut Roxby down, whatever that means. Yeah, there you go. But this is meant to be the lizard's revenge. Interesting place to park your plane during the when you're out flying, but an interesting angle too. There you go. Crazier things have happened when you're on the Unadata track. So check this out, this is what we're driving through. It's just constant wind, there's dust all over the road. We're not sure if there's cars coming or it's just the dust. I think there is a car up there, but you can't tell with all the dust. The dust or the wind is meant to die off by Friday, which is probably the end of our dirt trip. Then we're back onto the bitumen, so that's a bit of a bummer, but you know what? We'll just keep trudging on. Out for our evening wander. We haven't done a lot because it's been so windy and rugged. And then we come across this Land Cruiser. So it looks like that's had a bit of a hard day. And, oh, that's the Driving Academy, the William Creek Driving Academy vehicle. So I reckon Malcolm could probably go for driving that. These planes here, they're the ones that do the flights over Lake Eyre, but unfortunately, like I was saying, you can't get flights over Lake Eyre because they're all booked up because it's so full. Here we go, the heartbeat of William Creek. People are out wandering around. The wind's died off a little, which is nice. It's actually quite civilised. The sunset's very, very beautiful. Sunset looking north. That's why we're heading up tomorrow. We're going from here up to Unadata. So it's saying the Unadata or William Creek to Unadata, you need a hire vehicle, which we've got, so we're all good to go. Sunrise over William Creek. Day starts, it's magic. It's about it's nearly 7 o'clock. Sun's just popping up. There's the windsock there, so it's not much wind. We like that a lot. Prop for morning tea this morning, just in the middle of nowhere. We oiled the billy, we've had our coffee and our hot chocolates, and now there's some fruit cake. Some of my boiled fruit cake. But this mound here, no, it's not just a mound of dirt. It is where the old Ghan Railway used to travel. I see the boys are enthusiastic about that. Are you pumped, Michael?
Yeah.
Malcolm, you good? Malcolm can't hear me, but yeah, he's going to have these thumbs up today, so that's got to be a good thing. But yeah, so this is the old Ghan Railway line. It's not used anymore. They replaced it many, many years ago. It goes further towards the Stewart Highway, the Ghan. Still a great train ride, but this was revolutionary in its day because it cut the time from Adelaide to Darwin significantly over the camels. This is underneath the old Ghan Railway, so obviously you can see why we're not walking on it because it's got a few holes in it. Not terribly safe to go clambering on this one. But an amazing feat. So what I said before, so it got replaced, or no, this one replaced the Afghan cameleers. Cameleers came from Afghanistan and around that area. And then they used to trek camels from Adelaide right through to Darwin. It would take 3 to 6 months to get a load up. They'd have camel trains of up to sort of 25 camels wandering up and down the centre of Australia. So quite an amazing feat, really. Right, this is the Algebruckner Bridge. A bit of a wander along here, not all the way, but a bit of a wander along. So let's go and have a look. Malcolm climbing the bridge. So just come up these dodgy stairs. We're at the top of the bridge now. go for a walk there. Bit of a walk down here. The actual bridge is closed off mostly, but we can get down just a little way, which is worth doing. Mountain goat Malcolm, look at him, surging along. Nice, because up here you can actually see we've got some water in the river. So we'll see when we go across our little river crossing here, whether we've got to battle that or not, or some naughty person's probably gone through there. But we won't be doing that. We don't really want to fall down these cracks here and hurt ourselves. Beautiful scenery up here though, beautiful. Made it, the Pink Roadhouse at Unforgettable. We're here. So we've bought some souvenirs for the gang, and then we're going to head off up to Dalhousie Springs and go for a swim in the thermal pools, I hope. Wind hasn't been blowing all day, so just got a bit of a breeze behind me there, but that's all right. It's actually going to push us along, if anything. So all good. Fuel's a bit on the pricey side here, so you got $2.99 for, say, $3 a litre for diesel, and you got $3 a litre for unleaded as well. So there you go. If you want to empty your wallet, you just fill up here. We're out, we pulled up for lunch. We're heading towards Dalhousie Springs. We're on one of the Giver Plains out here. And you can see there's an abundance of trees around here, but I thought interesting place to stop for lunch, because we are quite isolated. You can see the road's flat out and it's busy. The scenery is actually quite nice. It's beautiful colours and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, great place to stop for lunch. All along the Unadata track, you've got these sidings. This is Pedirka siding, Pedirka, P-E-D-I-R-K-A siding. And this is where they used to fill up with water, and people would sort of get off here, get on here. They'd drop off gear at the train for the stations and things like that. As you can see, there's not a lot around here. So really, really hot in summer, and lots and lots of flies, I imagine. They've got some cattle yards over there. But the train went from here and then went up through Fink, Alice Springs, and then right up to Darwin in later times. These are the Dalhousie ruins. They are they were the northernmost cattle or station in South Australia. And they tested a whole lot of different crops and things like that, and obviously they didn't work out too well, so now they've gone back to just really basic cattle, because there's not oodles of feed around here. We can have a bit of a wander through. So this is the beautiful warm thermal pools. We've just had a swim in here. Got a couple of noodles, and you just sort of paddle around. The fish nibble at your body and get all the dead skin off and that. It's quite therapeutic, really. I don't know what temperature it is, but it's actually just perfect temperature. Malcolm loved it, Michael, me, the whole gang. We're at Dalhousie Springs, like you just saw before, with that bit of a swim, and the sunset is just magic, isn't it, Michael?
It is.
Malcolm's impressed as well. He's just sitting there chilling, relaxing. We've had a really warm swim. This is our setup. That's my swag. A couple other swags we've got rolling around. But this is the sunset. Beautiful. We've got a quick, easy dinner tonight. We've got some chicken and some spam. Yes, everyone goes, oh, spam. But I've flavoured it up so it tastes good. Lots of veggies. So the guys have been in getting it organised. Made it to the Mount Dare Hotel. Here's the lads. We've got a flat tyre on the way up, but managed to get here. They're just fixing the tyre now, so we can get a few photos and videos. And then we're heading up to Fink, then Culgara for our stop tonight. So we're on the corner of the Mount Dare Dalhousie Springs Road and all the Culgara Fink Road. And you can see that the traffic is bustling here. That's all happening. You can see this road, it's peak hour at the moment. So that's the road we're going on. This is the road we've just been on. But it just goes to show you need to be well prepared, need to know what you're doing. And with the guys, we need even more preparation, because we need a few other things in place. So we've got internet everywhere we go, so we're nice and safe. The cars are in good condition. The staff, very skilled in what they do. I've got to admit that, because, I am, and we are. So we need to have all these little boxes ticked, and then it's nice and safe for any of our guys to go away and enjoy some of these remote places that you couldn't normally get to if you don't have some skill in the outback. These signs also highlight that you need to have some attention to detail and need to know what you're doing and when you're doing it. Obviously it's escalated with our guys because we may need some more services than just the run of the mill, but we will make it happen. That's what we do. So we've got good tyre pressures, lots of fuel, lots of water. Like I said, we've got Starlink, so we can get internet anywhere we are. Just got to plug it in and away we go. So always very cautious when you're driving on these roads because they can be very dangerous. Here's Malcolm. He's starting to get it with the poles and getting this swag set up. So that's a good thing. So we keep pointing to it and he's starting to learn how to set it up, which is a very good thing. Makes our job a lot easier. This is the sunset at the Culgera Roadhouse. We're in the Northern Territory. Only for one night, mind you, but we are in the Northern Territory. We're going to head down to Cooper Pedy tomorrow. Should be beautiful. We're inside the RFDS service in Broken Hill. So having a wander around, having a look at all the various planes and how they save lives, how John Flynn basically set it up with the help of Qantas many, many years ago. So it really was quite amazing what John Flynn did. So you wanted to build a mantle of safety in the bush, and that's exactly what he's done. So very, very clever man. He used to travel around on his camel, wondering how's he going to help the people of the outback and the bush survive just some of the most small injuries that they were life-threatening back then, but they shouldn't have been. And that's how the RFDS came into action. The Railway Museum now was actually a private railway way back in Broken Hill. And we're wandering through one of the carriages. I remember sitting in these. And, when I was younger, we used to cruise along down the tracks. Very comfortable. Malcolm's pumped. The first class carriage through here. Very luxurious back then. This is a privately owned train. So back then they had privately owned trains and this was one of them. It did get bought out eventually. I know it actually closed down, 1971. And they handed the building across to the Preservation Society, which was a good thing. They had to smoke on these trains, the penalty was $20. It'd be a little bit more now, I think. Way back when, you had smoking carriages and non-smoking carriages. Now, it's all obviously non-smoking, but there you go. This is just the normal run-of-the-mill. This is economy class, these seats, but still quite comfortable. Broken Hill's first ambulance. That's not all that exciting. Looks a bit like a hearse. Or coffin's going to go in it. But these are some of the carts and some of the things of yesteryear in good old Broken Hill.